Dr. Millard, I have a task for you.
Yes, Dr. Beacon?
You haven't done an interrogation in a while.
That's because I truly despise them. I prefer the assessment side, rather.
Well, I need you to handle this case.
I'd rather not, if possible.
You're the only one who can handle this case. We've already tried and failed to get a proper response from the accused subject. I think you're the only one who can get one out of her.
And why me?
Because you know when to be cruel and when to be nice. I'll give you a bonus if you do it.
How much?
How's $1,000 sound?
What do I need to know?
Woman, 55, divorced, homeless for a few years but stable now, works at a daycare. Name's Elsie. Here's her file.
And the crime?
Kill the child.
Hello, Miss LCK. My name is Dr. Millard, and I'll be talking to you today. How are you?
Not great, obviously. I'm quite literally bound here out of my will. Some people do too much.
Well, I'm afraid that's just how it is. Now, I don't like this job either, so let's just get right to it. Where were you approximately 4 p.m. on February 28th, 2024?
Working my job at the daycare.
Mm-hmm. And what's your exact role at the daycare? How long have you been there?
I worked there for around 30 years, if I'm recalling correctly. All I do is take care of the children, keep them entertained, help them learn their lessons. It's not an easy job, but it's really all I know how to do.
And why is that the only thing you know how to do?
Well, I know basic math and I know how to read. I just know how to take care of a child and help them grow.
But I see you've been accused of murdering a child at that exact daycare. According to witnesses, who are your co-workers, you were the only one working when they both went on their 30-minute break. When they came back, you were in the bathroom helping another child in there, and a young infant was murdered in the playroom.
Well, I don't know what to tell you because I wasn't the one who did it. I was in the bathroom. A child was screaming for help, so there was an accident in there, so I don't know what happened. I didn't hear anything. I feel just as horrible as everyone else, but just not out of guilt.
Not out of guilt, you say? Do you ever feel guilty besides at that moment?
Yes.
How so? What has happened in your life to make you feel guilty? What's your story? I want to know more about you, Elsie.
Well, I don't know perhaps how that applies here. It's too personal. You don't know me. I don't know you. You won't care. No one does. All they do is blame me.
How about this? You share first, and I share my guilt after. I'm not supposed to do this, but perhaps it'll create a more comfortable environment.
I mean, I guess so. Not like it changes anything. The reason why I've been working at the daycare for 30 years is because I decided to divorce my husband. We don't need to go into the details, but he was a really messed up guy. But with no job and no income, the court gave him full custody of my son. When I heard the news, I didn't want to break things off, so I went back, but it was too late. He kicked me out. I never went to university. I didn't have any real skills. All I knew how to do was take care of my son, and so I got a job at the daycare.
And why did you feel guilty?
Because I didn't take my son with me. I was a coward. Well, your turn.
Thank you for sharing, Elsie. I suppose my guilt is quite similar to yours, really. I had a harsh father and a kind mother, but their marriage had many issues. I don't know the fine details or the turning points or any of that, but one day I do know my mother left our home.
Your father probably hurt her.
I guess so. Maybe. Well, the reason I'm a forensic psychologist today is because I hope to see him in here in the future. I hope to dig up enough evidence to call him guilty, to convict him of everything he's ever done to me.
Another reason why I decided to work at the daycare is because my old husband didn't know to take care of our son. I waited for so long. I hoped that one day that he would drop him off and I could run away with him. It was the only daycare in our town, so I just waited.
I see. That's interesting.
Why do you feel guilty?
Well, sometimes I feel like I'm too harsh on my mother, wherever she is. I mean, I wish she had taken me with her. I wish she didn't choose herself over me. I barely know who she is. I don't even remember her name, but I grew up hating her. She left because she knew she would feel guilty the second she ran away. Guilt just comes after. But doesn't it work like that for everyone?
Well, trust me when I say that I feel so much guilt for leaving my son with him. I wish I could change the past, I really do. It's just, if I could go back and run into that apartment and grab him, I would.
And why didn't you?
I don't know.
You know, I'm a forensic psychologist today because I also hope to see my mother in here in the future. I too wish to call her guilty of a crime. Kidnapping. That'd be ironic.
Wait.
I never went to daycare. It was too expensive. None of you could ever afford anything more than your pity lives.
Well,
Guilty.